Hello guys, my name is kiminekyt and welcome to this new video, and today we are going to be watching the kiminekyt playing in his Leopard 1. Now, I know I stutter a lot, but this name is actually written in Czech language, which means that I was able to pronounce it semi-easily. Either way, Wargaming recently released a new 1.5.1 update, in which they decided to take a look on the Japanese medium tank line and the German medium tank line leading up to the Leopard 1. The reason why I decided to look upon these tanks is because these tanks were since ever considered to be rather mediocre, in my opinion, maybe even leaning a bit more towards the bad side. Now, I'm not proclaiming that these tanks are weak or anything, they can be definitely powerful in the hands of a right person. All I'm saying that the sole reason why I should be playing this tank is the looks. Like, seriously, these tanks look bloody gorgeous, just look at his absolute beauty. And that's the reason why our hero had to pick the fabulous purple skin. I'm forever going to hate you for picking this skin. Seriously, it looks absolutely disgusting. It is also the reason why I'm gonna be using the 1940 sign film effect for this video, because that way I do have a feeling like the purple color is a bit more difficult to spot on the sand. Like, it might be just me, but I do have a feeling like it kinda like blends in with the sand for some reason. Anyway, the reason why these tanks are considered to be rather mediocre is the fact that they are kinda one-trick sniper medium tanks, which do not really work well as snipers, and they do not really work well as medium tanks. On one side, they do have like all of the statistics that they should have as a proper sniper tank, except for one thing, which is the alpha damage, which is so important that they cannot actually work as sniper tanks. On the other hand, they work quite similarly to medium tanks, except for the fact that they have absolutely no armor and they are semi-big targets, which means that if you are brawling somebody in a town, you are probably always going to lose. So that is sort of the reason why these tanks were always considered to be rather mediocre, and not many people played them unless they were going for that historical sort of a feeling, because surprisingly enough, this tank line has a large portion of tanks that actually existed in real life, which is kind of surprising because, you know, we're kind of talking about Wargaming game, and yeah. So Wargaming recently buffed all of these tanks to have a bit more appropriate stats. To be more precise, they decided to buff all of the accuracy of all of these tanks to a bit more acceptable level, by which I mean that they pretty much made tank destroyers out of these tanks, as we might have seen right over there as our hero just sniped that Object 277 over half of the freaking map. Seriously, these tanks have accuracy of like 0.29, which is like almost a pinpoint accuracy, with APCR shells that fly at like 1500 meters a second, plus to which they have now buffed 278 penetration, which is actually the highest medium tank penetration at the tier 10. They also had their alpha damage buffed from 390 to 420, which in my opinion is actually a pretty significant buff, because it will make them considerably more powerful snipers, as we might see right now, as our hero yet again snapped a shell into an enemy tank over half of the freaking map. Here we can see that the Wargaming did a decently good job at actually balancing these tanks out. Well, I wouldn't call it balancing these tanks out, because right now I do have a feeling like these tanks are a bit too OP. Man, if I had my old account, I wish I had my old account right now, because I want to play Leopard 1. I want to play it so freaking much. Still, these tanks always kind of lack the capability of being able to snipe the enemy tanks from far away, despite the fact that they are literally sniper medium tanks. As I said, they didn't have the alpha damage to actually deal with the enemy tanks that would just peek from behind the ridgeline and then just go behind it. That is kind of what the sniper tanks are for. If there is an enemy tank that is abusing the ridge lines, he's like peeking up from behind it, then immediately hiding behind it, the sniper tanks will be able to deal pretty significant amount of damage to them, and pretty much deny them the ability to abuse those ridge lines. The sniper medium tanks, however, weren't really able to do that, and yeah, that was kind of sad. Nowadays though, I do have a feeling like they are kind of capable of doing it, They might not be the best at it, but as we might see right over here with the TVPT 5051 trying to peek out from behind that enemy tank, our hero was actually able to put a shell into him before the TVP was able to put a shell into him, so into our hero. So yeah, I do have a feeling like these things are a bit more appropriate in what they are supposed to do than they were before. They are definitely not more balanced. Right now I do have a feeling like these things are a bit too OP, and I hope they are gonna be nerfed by a little bit. Not too much though, because I do have a feeling like there is that delicate standard where they are kind of right now at, where they are like one step away from being mediocre again. And I hope the Wargaming will not look at these things and be like, yep, we overdid it, let's nerf the tank to the ground. Also, I should say one thing, and that is that we are 6 minutes into this game, and our hero has over 6,000 damage, so far doing real good over here. Real good. By the way, right now in front of our hero is another one of those buff tanks, the STB-1, because, yeah, that is a Japanese medium tank. By the way, the reason why both those tanks were kind of buffed at once is as you might see, both of them are built on sort of Leopard 1 chassis. Yeah, if you look at them, they look kind of similar, and they are obviously different, with the STB-1 looking a bit more, I would say, futuristic. It is a bit flatter tank overall, but they do have a pretty similar designs. I don't know if the STB-1 actually existed in real life. I never bothered checking that, but I do have a feeling like there were actual genuine blueprints in real life of that thing, so yeah. Either way, right now, as we might see, our hero with the STB-1 are peeking this ridgeline, shooting at the enemy tanks. There is the daring enemy AMX 13105, and here we can see the buffed accuracy of this tank taking stall on the enemy light tank, putting one shell onto him at full speed. Like, seriously, hitting a light tank, a tier 10 light tank at full speed is pretty damn difficult, but not with Leopard 1 now, so yeah. I'm not really pleased with my commentary throughout this video, but I'm recording this video actually for like 20th time in a row. Like, I've spent the past 2 hours trying to record it, so I'm not gonna stop recording right now. I'm not gonna start recording all over again, so yeah. Anyway, our hero is currently trying to look at the enemy at that ridgeline over there, waiting for the enemy Foch 155 to peek that little ridgeline over there. Once he's going to peek it, he's immediately gonna get a shell into his whole armor, and that will keep him from coming out. There we go, there is a Foch 155. He was kind of testing the waters over there, dipping just one single front wheel of his tracks over that ridgeline, and obviously as cupola to spot the enemy, to spot our hero and realize that it's probably not gonna be the greatest idea to come over that ridgeline. He immediately decided to back off. There is the enemy TVP T50. Oh, and here we can see the upgraded, the buffed aiming time of this tank. The aiming time of this tank is actually right now 1.7 seconds, which is absolutely ridiculous and allows this tank to to snapshot like crazy. It is the Patton's level of accuracy, Patton's level of snapshotting. By the way, that shot over here, it was incredibly risky in my opinion, because while I do understand that this tank is currently probably the most powerful snapshotter in the entire game, there was a pretty huge room for human error, because even if you would miss by the tiniest bit, you would kill your E100, which by the way right now got killed by the enemy T124. So yeah, it probably wouldn't matter that much, but you would have one less kill, so yeah. Anyway, right now we are trying to get behind that T124 because of the fact that that thing has a shit ton of armor, but no, we are actually not trying to flank it. You're trying to go into your cap circle and reset the cap. There we go, one shell into the Object 705A, and you have much faster reload, so you can afford to just stand here and put yet another shell into him. The enemy team also doesn't have any artilleries, which means that you can pretty much go anywhere and do not care about the fact that you might just get shot by the enemy artillery at any point in time. Still, The enemy MX-13105 is trying to engage onto your team, most likely a Super Conqueror. He probably forget about the fact that you're up on this hill, and that will cost him his life. Yeah, did you see how he like turned his threat? Either way, we're down to the last enemy tank remaining, which is the enemy Panzer 7. The Panzer 7 is a pretty decent tank, but in a close quarters combat. It's definitely not a strong tank if it's outranged like this. Just look at this shit. He has no way of doing anything at this point. I also do have a feeling like he's probably a bot, considering the fact that he's just standing there doing nothing. Please tell me that is... It kind of looked like a bot. Either way, this is gonna be the end of this game. Oh, and there is the platoon as well. This is gonna be the end of this game. G freaking G. And in the post-game stats, we may see just how much of an amazing game this was, as our hero was capable of getting himself 9 medals in total, 3 a bit less rare medals and 6 a bit more rare medals. In team score, we will be also capable of seeing that our hero was capable of dealing nearly 10,000 damage, and together with his last minute comrade, they were able to deal over 15,000 damage split amongst both of them. Our hero was also capable of getting himself 1,550 experience and was also capable of earning some money. To top it all off, I gotta say that I'm not pleased with my commentary throughout this video. I seriously am not, but I'm trying to record it for 2 hours at this point. I'm seriously fucking tired. It's hot out. Well, that would actually explain everything. It's like 30 degrees outside. I'm freaking melting over here in my room. 30 degrees. Do you know how much that is for an average Slovak? Come on, we are used to 0 degrees. We are used to -10, -20. We are not used to 30 fucking degrees. I can't think. I can't speak. And I'm supposed to be making videos while also learning for my finals. Mental break. What the fuck did I just want to say? Either way, this is gonna be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!